Before we dive in, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the devastating fires currently affecting the Los Angeles area. And as two people who call this place home, this has been an incredibly difficult and emotional time for so many people in our community. It's truly heartbreaking to see the toll this has taken on countless families, and we want to do our part. If you're able, please consider donating to organizations providing vital support to the victims and our firefighters. You'll find links in the description below. Every donation, no matter the size, makes a huge difference. CS, thank you so much for being here. I hope your family is safe.
No, we're luckily all safe, and it was a crazy few days. And thank you to all the first responders.
Yes, absolutely, and our firefighters for their bravery.
And everyone who's been fighting these fires, which still is happening right now.
Yeah, and thank you to Paramount for your generous donation. Now with that, let's get into it. Hey there, Dexter fans! Welcome to another episode of Final Cut, your ultimate hub for all things Dexter and the official after show for Dexter: Original Sin. I'm your host, Jamie Chung, and I'm here to break down every twist and turn and jaw-dropping moment from this week's episode. Today we are joined by the phenomenal C.S. Lee, who, as fans know, brought to the unforgettable Vince Masuka in the original Dexter series. Woo-hoo! C.S. Lee, thank you so much for being here. It is such a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. Wow, you look beautiful. The set looks pretty bloody.
So, before we dive into this bombshell of an episode,
oh my God,
we gotta talk about it. What are your thoughts on this new addition to the Dexter universe?
Well, I mean, I gotta say, just watching these characters portray the younger version of the original characters, all the actors do such an amazing job. My jaw's dropped. Like, it's not just the, they look similar. It's the fact that they have their spirit down.
Yeah.
And it's the characters that they play, it's incredibly nuanced, but they also put their own spin on things. And I've been really just drawn in to all these new characters. I mean, to all these old new characters.
Yeah.
Casting did an incredible job.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, and I gotta give you some love too. The bar was set so high, and these new actors have such a great foundation thanks to your previous work and the rest of the original cast.
Thank you very much.
So well done.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Done.
Somebody still hasn't given blood?
I have an intense fear of needles, specifically when they're poked into me.
You just haven't been poked in the right place, my friend.
So you do know that we had Alex previously on this show. What did you think of his performance? And you can be totally brutally honest. It's just between you and I and everyone in this Dexter community.
Of course. Alex Shimizu, first of all, I met him. As a person, he's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Amazing guy, so nice.
He's such a sweetheart.
Such a sweetheart. And then I started seeing the episodes, and my God, he does such a phenomenal job portraying Masuka. He obviously has the laugh down to a T.
Alex said that you gave him some advice before shooting the show. What was some of the tips that you gave him?
Well, the number one was look sexy.
Oh, yeah.
Number two was talk sexy.
Yeah.
Number three was...
so much confidence. I mean, the character
Absolutely.
really embodies that.
Yes. All joking aside, I did have a meaningful conversation with Alex about Masuka and the Masuka verse. And I think the one thing that I told him that was most important, whether he knew it or not, was that I think Masuka he's just trying to connect with people. And, he may be strange, he may say some nasty things, but in the end, it's about him wanting to be loved.
Yeah.
And especially in that environment, there's not a whole lot going on. I mean, it's, obviously it's a Miami Metro. It's just, for him, when he makes his jokes and his crass jokes, it's just because he wants to connect with people.
Yeah. I'm Barb.
Brian.
We start off the episode by revealing Brian Moser.
Beanie.
Baby B. I mean, in episode 2, he comes up and is like, "Is the seat taken?" And you're like, "Aw."
Yeah.
Was that B? I'm not sure.
I know.
But
And I think some people thought maybe it could have been him.
I knew.
I think some people probably they didn't even know.
Yeah.
And then this episode, like, wait a minute.
Yes. And it really explains his origin story as to why he decides to cut up his victims, who his victims are.
Yeah.
Did you think that they were going to explore Brian's story?
I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to explore that whole story because it's an interesting one because obviously we know that Dexter and Brian were together
Yeah.
when their mother was cut up.
I mean, you can't have Dexter get all the love. You can see why he has like all this
He's
kind
got some
of
problems.
raging jealousy and trauma.
Who is this serial killer Brian? You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
I mean, if Dexter had turned out this way,
With just a
Brian-
little bit more tender, loving care, I think
Yeah.
he would have also been like, Dexter is like a superhero in a dark, twisted way.
Yeah, of course.
But maybe Brian could have been
a
the same.
superhero too,
Yeah.
but he's not.
I know.
Unfortunately.
Look, I know that it's a crazy time. But if we're gonna be partners, I need you to come clean with me.
What are you talking about?
I saw you steal the file from Tampa PD. Who was Brian Moser?
LaGuerta confronts Harry about hiding Brian's file, and he comes clean about the affair.
Ooh, that was a big moment.
Mm-hmm.
Big moment.
But Harry must know how dangerous Brian really is, right?
You would think. You would
mean,
think.
he's
I mean, he
onto it
does
at
know. Of
this
course he knows. I mean,
point.
come on, he knows. He knows. I mean, I think didn't Harry see some of that when Brian was a little
Yeah.
kid? We saw Brian almost kill Deb with the pillow.
And he's definitely onto the fact that it's Brian's revenge tour.
You know what the cartel will do to an informant. Spence, they have her 2 boys.
Any idea where they are?
Port Miami docks. Estrada does all of his business there. I can lead the charge.
You can join the search. But, as a uni, give me your shield. Give me your shield.
And I think finally in this episode, in the flashback, we see why Harry is in uniform when he rescues Dexter
Yes,
and Brian.
that's
And
because
it's-
he was
exactly.
demoted.
Yeah, he was demoted to a uni. This is something that we've been wondering the whole time.
Well, yeah, because you know, as you watch the first episodes, he's a detective, and
Yeah.
detective, you
Homicide
know,
detective, that's a big deal.
He's in detective gear,
Yeah.
you know, and
Or undercover.
or undercover,
Yeah.
so he's not obviously wearing a uniform. And so that was a good question that
Yeah.
I think the writers finally kind of answered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The things you do for love. We finally see the search and rescue in the shipping yard. And we've seen this flashback, the scene, throughout so many seasons, you know, this franchise. Why do you think that they went more in depth into this portrayal?
They had to, because we had to see as an audience the trauma these kids were going through.
Like really see what they saw to understand.
Yeah, everything has a source.
Yeah.
Right? And I think this was the source.
Yeah.
Right? For both kids going, you know, a little bit of cuckoo.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, who are you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm Deborah Morgan. Deb, Harry's daughter.
Maria.
So now we see Deb and LaGuerta meet for the first time. I feel like it's a really good, as you said before when we were screening it,
Yeah. Foreshadow.
of what their dynamic was going to be from the first season to now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But just keep talking to all your hookers.
Of course, and you know, Deb shows up and she's already cussing in front of
I know.
LaGuerta, you know?
I know, but LaGuerta, you know, I think she's tough love because as a woman, she had to prove herself. And like, oh, you're interested in this? That's
Yeah.
great, but you're not gonna get any special treatment from
Yeah,
me. You're
no.
gonna work, you know, she's kind of preparing herself.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Preparing Deb in like a hard love kind of way.
Yeah.
But I think that's very apparent the first time they meet as well.
Yeah.
What?
Say Dexter.
Bobby's the one that tells Harry to save Dexter. Why do you think this is so important?
Obviously, Bobby knows a lot about what's going on, right?
That the siblings,
Yeah,
that they
about
are
the siblings, and he seems to be sort of the confidant to Harry. Maybe Harry truly didn't know which way to go.
Yeah.
You know, protect Dexter or protect Brian, what have you. You know.
Now, before we get into the kill scene, it is time to play a little game
Oh.
called Blood Slide Roulette.
Oh.
Right here, we have a box of blood slides, and each one's got a random question, some fun, some serious, and some a little bit twisted. Which question? 1
Okay.
through 50.
I picked number 4.
Great. Who was your favorite 90s pop star or band?
As a child of the 90s grunge heydays.
In what city?
Seattle,
Ooh,
where grunge,
the Mecca.
the Mecca. I was literally in the Mecca,
Nirvana.
Nirvana. I lived like 3 miles away from Kurt Cobain's house.
Did you get to see them live?
I never saw Nirvana live, but I saw Radiohead when that first album dropped, Creep,
Yeah, dude.
with like 150 people. We were
Wow.
stage diving,
No
crowd
way.
surfing.
Did you grow out your hair really long?
My hair, I had my hair back then.
Yeah.
Masuka had hair back then. It was not long, but
Like you didn't go for the grunge look?
No, no.
Okay.
Well, I did have
I
a
was
little
gonna say
bit of
pretty straight, like a little.
a little what mullet, I guess.
Yeah.
A little mullet,
It's
but
hot. 90s baby.
yeah, 90s.
I'm a goddamn hero! I thought you were a hero. You were always one of the good guys to me.
I am one of the good guys.
Good guys don't kill kids.
I've been waiting for this.
I bet you enjoyed it.
You know?
I bet you enjoyed seeing Patrick Dempsey naked
I mean,
on the table.
who wouldn't? You know? The look, again, is so stylized, and it kind of reminds me of Nurse Mary's Kill back in episode 1. Right? With all the neon lighting.
Wow, good point.
Why do you think that they connected those two moments?
That's a good question. It has something to do with Dexter.
Yeah.
And the fact that Spencer is a big deal to him.
Yeah. He's a child killer, and he hates child killers.
Yes. So I think he made this one extra special.
Yeah. Or just like similar
just
to
as special.
Or it's the same as like Nurse Mary, you know,
Yes.
that kill. It was super stylized, it's very similar.
Yes.
But he's like, don't fuck with my family.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I
Yes.
think again, I find it very passionate or, like you said, personal.
Personal,
right?
passionate.
Yeah.
I
all the
think
P's.
all the personal, passionate. What else? What else? Penis. No, that doesn't work.
Jesus. Are you in character?
No, I'm
That's
not in
great.
character. Definitely not in character.
I'm gonna let you sit here and think about what you did. When I get back, you better be more forthcoming about Nikki.
At the very beginning of that scene,
Yeah.
I thought this was the end of Patrick.
At first, when Dexter leaves him alone, I thought, why in the world would he do that? But then you realize there's always a reason. He's very passionate about young kids going through trauma, and he
course.
wants to rescue
Of course,
Nikki.
Dexter is actually smarter than we think
Yes,
he
he is, exactly.
Because up until this point, he's been sloppy. He's still kind of learning.
Yeah, he's stumbling his way.
Yeah,
through
he's
a
stumbling
couple
his
of
way.
kills, yeah.
But then we see this kill room with Spencer, and the fact that he lets him go.
Yeah.
Because he's,
To follow
to
him to find
get the
Nikki.
kid. That's what,
Yeah.
he knows. He's already thought this through.
Yeah, but also like to be able to fight those urges. Like if you finally get Chief Spencer on your kill table,
Yeah.
and you're like, I know you took your child's own finger. I know you plan to kill your own child, and you've already killed other children. You know, how
Well-
many were there?
Well, we find out that Dexter is
Yeah.
smarter than us.
Yeah, he really is smarter than us. But kudos to him for really holding back. You know, because I know he really wanted to kill Spencer.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But he had to do what he had to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Otherwise, the kid's dead.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You needed help.
What I needed was my family.
The way they ended that scene with the chainsaw, Brian.
Oh, God.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's a horrible way to go.
Yeah, but in a way it was fitting. It was very sort of, what do you call it, a button at the end. Everything came back together. What did he say?
Pieces fitting.
What did he say?
Your dad puns are on fire, honey.
You separated
You separated me and Dexter.
and then
I'm
gonna separate you.
I'm gonna separate you.
Dramatic.
Very dramatic. That's some good writing right there.
That was great.
I'm sure the fans love that. Come on.
mean-
You knew that. I knew that was coming.
honestly, I don't think that she deserved to die.
No, she didn't. But in Brian's mind, absolutely, because she's the one that took him away.
I mean,
But I knew that line was coming when he said,
I know,
"You
I heard you say
separated
it.
me."
We're watching it again.
And the way he said it, it was like dot dot dot, right?
I'm gonna separate you.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into our final question,
Mm-hmm.
I have been meaning to play this game with you. I
Mm.
feel like it was made for Vince. It is called Mary Fucking Killed, inspired by my character Molly Park,
Yes.
whom I don't think is dead. So let's break down some of our favorite killers from the Dexter franchise.
Yes.
You'll notice that I added one more name to the mix.
I wonder who.
Captain Spencer.
Dun, dun,
Patrick
dun.
Dempsey. Original said. So I'm gonna hand you this list.
Okay.
Now first, it's Mary fucking Kill. So Mary,
Yes.
which serial killer would you pick to help you cover up a crime?
I would say Trinity.
Why?
He's one of the smartest serial killers
Yeah.
that we've seen. He just knows what to do.
Yeah. Okay, fucking, who do you think was the sexiest killer?
I mean, that's gonna be between Camargo and Patrick. So I would say, you know what? I gotta give Patrick the edge.
I
Patrick,
concur.
Patrick, you are one sexy motherfucker.
You really are.
But Christian's pretty sexy too. I mean,
mean,
come on, I mean,
Yes.
He was pretty sexy.
Yeah.
Seriously, when I first saw him, I was like, who is this sexy motherfucker? And he was like, I'm not extra color. I was like, okay, bye.
See, again, this game was made for you.
Yeah.
Kill. Who had the most shocking kills?
I want to say the Skinner or the brain surgeon, perhaps. I would say the Skinner.
The Skinner. Ugh. Okay. We only have one episode left.
Yes.
How do you think it's gonna end? When we started shooting Dexter Final Cut and we started watching the episodes, I really thought that Sarah Michelle Gellar, that she was gonna be the big baddie of the season. And I apologize to you, Sarah. It's really a compliment because I feel like the most likable characters are usually the ones to get killed off or to get...
Or they have secrets too.
Yeah, to have really deep, dark secrets, and I really thought that she had something to do. I thought she was gonna be, because she's the blood spatter specialist.
Spatter matters.
Yeah.
I thought that she was going to be the big baddie.
Big baddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of felt that too. I felt like
Right?
she was kind of a little bit off.
Yeah.
Right? She played that very
I
well.
wouldn't- I
Maybe
wouldn't say
there
that
is.
she was
Maybe
off.
she is a little bit off.
Yeah,
Maybe she's
maybe
still.
season 2.
maybe-
Maybe there's an opportunity for, he can't be killing off the whole police department, you know?
No.
That's weird.
No. Well, no, you can't.
No.
No.
I mean, does something terrible have to happen to her? I think she's a
Yeah, it
very
does.
lovely
It's-
character.
No, something terrible needs to happen
No,
because
I
this
think
show is
she's-
Dexter, and
No.
Dexter needs to kill.
No, I think she should just be like, yo, I'm retiring. I'm gonna go like coach a basketball team now. You know what I mean?
No. You know what? I
Just
hope.
let her go peacefully.
I hope. No.
Love her.
I hope Sarah Michelle Gellar, her character comes up, and she does become a baddie at some point.
No, you know what? Maybe she finds out who Dexter really is, and so for him to
Or you know what?
protect himself.
You know what? Maybe she and Masuka start having an affair, and
So you are coming back too. You're trying to pitch yourself as well? Okay. Thank you so much for joining us, CS. We love you so much, and thank you to all of you for tuning in to Dexter Final Cut. Don't forget to subscribe to the Dexter YouTube channel. Leave a comment and join the Dexter community. Be sure to catch the season finale of Dexter Original Sin next Friday, streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus with Showtime.
I can't wait.
I know, me too! Can't wait! Then swing on by to the Dexter YouTube channel the day after for our final episode, where we'll break it all down. I'm Jamie Chung, and until then, tread lightly. And stay tuned for a sneak peek of next week's episode.
I've always been more comfortable in darkness.
Thanks for being here, Deb.
Unfortunately, I've become quite the expert on this hospital bedside manner shit.
Morgan, I just got a page. The news chopper spotted a body on the roof of a building.
The body was cut into 6 pieces.
She was alive when it happened.
What kind of monster would do this?
Where's Dexter?
What kind of monster are you?
Dexter Original Sin season finale, now streaming on the Paramount Plus with Showtime plan.